Hello and welcome, I'm Peasant, and today I'm going to be taking on Scotland 4 with Trickster. This is the first of the latest batch. I think this is the third batch. So some pretty big changes to the layout. Let me know what you think about that. And as usual, if you see rules errors or tactical misplays, don't forget to timestamp so that I can find them. My memory is not great for things that have happened more than a few seconds ago. So, and I did just record one, and I forgot to take my turn, and I thought that's too much undoing. So it was quite a promising run as well. But you know, you can't have everything. Sometimes you can't have anything at all. That's enough blather. Let's look at the board position. We've got a setup, explore in the jungle, which is okay. It's fine. We might be I like to go with this turn one as my kind of default idea. This actually works pretty well with this jungle being adjacent here. We can use impersonate authority, add a strife, and then use real flair for discord to add an additional strife. The energy is pretty tight, but as long as we use this, reveal this moon presence, we can use this tier of let's see what happens to get the extra energy we need to place an additional strife. It's very tight, but we also might get something very helpful from let's see what happens, and we also might not. That said, we might not do this. We might not do this because first we're going to look at a power card. That's how I tend to go early on. And with a lot of these Jagged Earth Spirits, I've not really looked at how other people play them that much. I'm still kind of in that nice phase with this, with the Jagged Earth Spirits of just kind of playing them and messing about. Having fun. Yeah, fun. So what is our early offer? We really like air. We like moon as well. I mean, this is just a favorite of mine. This beast ability here on Why Don't You and Them Fight is actually really good. 2 damage for a beast. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. That's 2 damage. That's more than 1, less than 3. So that's tempting already. And the fact it has the air that we like. We have no fire offers here. This land is going to be dealt with anyway. I tend to only really favour Drift Down if I can use it immediately. But it does have the air we like. The nice thing is if you go with monsters, we can combine it with Overenthusiastic Arson and this moon here to actually get this threshold. And that threshold's the key to the ropey way I play this. I play heavily with minor powers. Oh, the cheapness too is good. And I do like a good fear game. What about bats? What about bats? I mean, they're pretty good. We don't start with good bat targets though. And yeah, the fact this is cheap, I think that's fine. The final decider, cheapness. So that's our minor power gain. So we've done this. Now we've got to think about placing a presence. And I think I'm going to... we could use this turn one. The thing is, I really like this impersonate incite thing. We can use it in here to destroy one of those cities. And then this suddenly is much more manageable. Because we can add a strife with impersonate, and then we can do the damage to the other city with the other one. I feel like when you're playing it Scotland, if you can destroy these coastal cities, you're kind of, you're laughing. But this time we have a new contender here. We don't have a perfect target for it. But I mean, we could use it instead of spending the extra energy to place strife with real flair for discord. We could just push the town out. Don't think that's that great though. That's not that great. Yeah, I think we go with the standard. We go with the standard turn one. I'm happy to have this anyway. So, but we might want to think about here there be monsters. We might want to think about that when we're placing this presence that we have here. Of course, Here There Be Monsters is an inland thing. With Unexpected Tigers, because of the way it only adds beasts if there aren't adjacent beasts, I like to try and think about where my potential beasts are going to go. We're going to want inland beasts. I think I'm going to place a presence in here. Yeah, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go in there. For potential unexpected tigers. And then we can have some coastal tigers in here. This is the weakest land because it's got the minimal adjacencies. So Right, that was a slightly long round. So we're going to have this. We're going to play these two this turn. These are both slow. Is that right? Just double checking. We've got the 2 moons, the fire, the 2 airs. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So we're not doing anything in our fast phase apart from this. We're not doing anything, but we are doing this. So where do we want to target? I'm tempted to target in here, just in case we get some extra goodness. There's not. Because we are doing damage in here. You know, there are cards that could interact quite nicely with what we've already got going on in there. There's a good chance it's going to do nothing for us. That's the other thing. Let's target here. It's a bit of a safer option. We're going to want to over-enthusiastic arson something at some point, but maybe we could target in here, or we'll see what the explorers. Tricky. But I think this is such a good over-enthusiastic target. We'll target in there. We'll go. No, here's better. We'll go here. What do we get? Okay. Okay, fine. Thanks for that. So we will still forget a power in order to gain this into hand because we need the energy. So there's our energy. What do we forget? Oh, I don't really want to forget any of these. Maybe we forget arson. I mean, sap is a great card. It doesn't do anything for us then. This has the crucial second air, though. Do we forget unexpected tigers? I think we forget. We forget unexpected tigers. Sorry, fellas. Sorry, fellas. All right, so we've done this. We don't have the elements to do this. That was our fast phase. All right. Blighted Island. No. Event. We do turn it, but we don't do it because it's turn 1. It was Cultural Assimilation, which is probably the card I play around the most out of any card because I've very consciously not fully... I've very deliberately kept the events as a hazy area. I've not done any research into them. I don't read articles about them. All right, so that's that. Now we are into the jungle build. So we have jungle build in here, but this disease token goes away, and we have an explorer. It's a sand explorer. So on the coast, because we're against Scotland, we'll get a town in there. And we'll get a regular in there. A regular. Okay. That was explore. Now we're into the slow phase. So we've got our... Yeah. Do we have a better target for any of this? Do we... We're not playing Scotland 5, so we don't have the runoff and bilge water thing. Where we'd be adding extra blight. So we could let this go a little bit more, but I don't see any reason to. Yeah, let's go with the standard plan. So a strife in here. I just realized that this might have been a better arson target because we could instead add our additional strife in here, which could help. Though this is very sappable, this land. If they build a city next turn, then ravage, it's 5 damage, which is fine. We can defend and counter quite nicely there. Yeah, let's go with the original plan. Let's go with the original plan. That's going to cost me an extra energy. So I'm using Real Flare for Discord there. I'll just put it on there to show it. So that's that. And then we're going to incite the mob in here. And we're going to use it just to destroy this city. So that's a total of 3 fear for that. Because 2 for the city and 1 for the extra. And that was our slow phase. Okay, these guys get discarded. And these are now back to using, and we are back to the spirit phase. So what now? We've got pretty cheap things here. Actually, could have used sap there, couldn't I? But I think I want to push on with let's see what happens and the joyful let's see what happens economy. I think this is a good over-enthusiastic arson. We're happy either way. Either we're destroying a town, preventing a city build, or we're just clearing it, preventing a build altogether. Here, there be monsters. might be relevant. I don't want to place a presence to use it and then destroy it with over-enthusiastic arson, though. That's nah, not ideal. But what we can do... Yeah, and what I'm deciding as well is, which one of these presents do I place? Do I get myself more energy, which is probably the better option, or do I get this extra little Dahan push, which will mean I could maybe push this Dahan into here and clear this land on the counter, or even push this into here in preparation for a complete coastal clear, the 3 Cs, the complete coastal clear. And the nice thing is we can delay the reclaim if our keystone moment is defending in there. Yeah, I like it. I like it. So I'm going to go with this option here. And then, but we don't need to do that this turn. We could do that next turn. We could. And we've also got these things to do as well. Do you want to just gain a power card? Let's gain a power card. We can afford our turn this turn, regardless. So yeah, let's gain a power card, see what we get offered. Okay, what do we got? So yeah, we love the air. Call to isolation, pretty OP. Well, not OP, but surprisingly useful. We don't want a city to be like, just use call to isolation. How much does that cost you? Nothing. Well, of course it costs something, but crucially, it has the air on it. It's 0 cost. And especially against Scotland, we've got to be careful with the coasts. We've got to be careful. We've got to be careful. I think, yeah, especially as we've got defend. We've got defend, of course, being Trickster. We've also got strifey business going on. I think we like this. We like it. What about you, though? No, I think we get the air card here. Off you go. So that was our power card gain. Now we've got to place a presence. Does call to isolation change our turn? No, I think we're still going to do the same turn as last time. Do we want the extra energy? Well, this is a cheap turn next turn. I'm actually going to go with this extra Dahan push then. Where do we place the presence? Well, we could save... See, this turn, if we are playing these two, we could use this air to get the range, but I don't want to necessarily force myself to do that. I don't want to force myself. There's also, we could just put in here for an extra fear for here, there'd be monsters. We might get a wetland explore. It might actually do something as well. And it's an extra fear. Or we can hear there'll be monsters to push this town up, make this more defendable. I'm actually more inclined to just leave this alone. Just leave it alone. Aside from over-enthusiastically burning it this turn. So yeah, so you know, calling it leave it alone is a bit of a stretch, but that's my plan. Okay, we have gained a power card, we've placed a presence. We have a Dahan push now. This is, yeah, we're not in the fast phase. This is kind of just before. We'll push this in here so that we can clear this land on the Ravage, and it might, more Dahan means that the event cards might help us in there as well. Because they might see, so an event, a fear card might help us counter an event card or something along those lines. Anyway, let's play these cards. Okay, that's that. So we do crucially have the 2 moons, the fired double air for that. Lovely stuff. Okay. So where do we want to over-enthusiastically arson? Where do we want to? Let's see what happens. Let's hit this first with the arson, and then really regret what we turn over. Does it sound like fun? Yes. So it's going to destroy a town. Whoop. It's going to get us a fear card. Okay, and then we discard the top card of the power deck, and if it provides fire, which it doesn't, we get mildly not disappointed, but disappointed. Okay. So that was our arson. Now we've got let's see what happens. We do not have this. I'll just put this on there to show. There's me. Oh, I can't do it. Right. So let's see what happens in We could try and clean up the blight. We might accidentally make it worse. This land should be taken care of. This ravage too shouldn't be a problem. We've kind of got a plan for this coastal sands. Yeah, I'm just going to target here. So we're going to let's see what happens in this inland sand. What do we get? Okay, so ignore that it's a slow power. It does just do this. Actually, this is nice. It will get us 2 fear now. Thanks. But we won't get to push because it is not a mountain or jungle. And I'm definitely going to have this. And I'm going to forget something. I'm going to forget something in order to get the extra energy. But what? I've been banging on about how great Call to Isolation is. I mean, just preventing this city build is pretty appetizing. I mean, I know I've got a nice plan for a counter, but still, yeah, I think I keep Call to Isolation. It's also got the air. So what do I forget? Sap we like as well. Here the monster's about to gain us 3 fear. I don't want to forget that. Maybe we forget. I think we forget arson. We forget about it. We're turning a corner. Our youthful arsonistic ways are behind us now. Okay, we got the extra energy for it. That was let's see what happens. We've arsoned. We've done that. That's our fast phase. Okay, Blighted Island. No. Event. What do we get? We get Sacred Sites under threat. Sacred Sites? What kind of loser has Sacred Sites? Not this guy. So, I think it's entirely irrelevant. Yeah, we can just go with the bottom option and ignore it completely. Okay, Beast Prowl. Each beast generates a fear if invaders are present and move to an adjacent land if not. Okay, well, given the main thing I want my beasts to do is gain me an extra fear now, I'm actually going to move in here. And then we have Spirit Speakers solve riddles of power. Each spirit with at least 4 Dahan among. Damn it, I've only got 3. Would gain a minor power. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it, Janet. Okay, that was that. Let's see what our fear card is. It's Depart the Dangerous Land. Each player removes an explorer from a land with a beast disease or at least 2 Dahan. I mean, yeah, more regrets for pushing that Dahan. I mean, pushing this beast here. Never mind. Never mind. We all make mistakes. I mean, I deliberately make mistakes to make everyone else feel good. All right, now we're into the actual invader actions. There's a Ravage. There's a Ravage here for 1 damage. That's fine. The Strife goes away. There's a Ravage here for 0 damage because of the Strife, and it gets counterattacked. So that's another fear, and he clears jungle. That was the Ravage. Now we have a build. It's a city build in there and a town build in here. And we have a stage 2 card. So they're going to do their Scottish escalation effect, which is, of course, against Scotland at this level, you know when the Coastal Lands card is. So I guess that's something to know. I've actually put my Coastal Lands card face up because I don't want to just. It's something I would know if I had a better memory. Okay, so where do we want to add this town? Has to be basically in one of the lands that doesn't have a town. We've got a sand and mountain ravage coming up. Sorry, mountain build. So maybe in one of these is good. Yeah, here's all right. It's in with some Dahan as well. They might just tire of it. Okay, and here's the mountain explorer. So no coast explorers, so we're not exploring with towns this round. And then we are into the slow phase. Oh, Here There Be Monsters is actually going to be pretty good here. So we will push from here. Let's push into there. And gain 3 fear. So that's 1 and a card. And then 2 more. That's all right, isn't it? That's all right. Okay, clean up. That goes away. It goes into the discard pile. And we are back to the growth phase. So yeah, I've got it's a motley collection of cards now, but we crucially don't have the second heir that we like. We might not get to see what happens this turn unless we reclaim. No one wants to reclaim. We've got this Sand Ravage here that's just, I mean, we can just play this in there. If we get a third, these are all 0 cost as well, which is pretty nice. Pretty damn nice. We can even use Call to Isolation to just push an extra Dahan in there to clear that land, which is perfect. I think this is such a good turn that we can live with the idea that we don't get to let's see what happens. We are just short a single air. I wonder whether... So we're going to want to play all 3 of these. Probably we're going to want to play all 3 of these. They've all got good things to do. Like this Shadows of the Burning Forest is going to help in there too. But we could, if we gained a power card, we might just gain a air card. We can afford it. I mean, we've got an energy just... Oh, in fact, there should be an energy there as well. We've got the energy to play any minor power we're going to gain. The alternative would be to just gain 3 energy, which then means that we're kind of flexible. We're not so worried about energy. And that is valuable. Might even mean we could go with a major power at some point. But yeah, I think if I play all 3 of these, there's no world where I'm going to want to have a 1 or 2 card turn. I don't think. So gaining the power now, yeah, I think they're pretty similar. But let's gain a power anyway. Let's gain... Yeah, I just need to remember, we're not going to gain any energy this turn, but we're not going to spend any energy either. Yeah, let's gain a power. Let's gain a power. All right. What do we got here? What do we got here, eh? We've got some of these cards. What have we got? Savage Moorbeasts. Savage Moorbeasts. Not absolutely horrible for us, because this beast power is so good. But still not ideal either. Though if we do pick it, we would get to use it. We don't have a great... It's not positioned that well. Some peanut put it in here, didn't they? Blood Draws Predators. Okay, we've only got 1 air card, and it's not great for us. Though we could afford, actually, to play it. We'd just be losing a presence. And it would mean we get to let's see what happens. Does it cost... Paying energy is... Oh, no. It's just destroying a presence. That's not too bad. This presence isn't doing anything. We need to make a sacred site to use it. It would mean we get to let's see what happens. Possibly it's just foolishness, though. These are all pretty good, but are they as good as just playing a random card in a random land? I mean, if we could hit this with something. What about you, Gift of Twin Days? What about you? Blood Draws Predators. Is it worth it for this extra? Let's see. I don't think it is. But nothing else is that exciting here either. Oh, we don't have the second moon anyway, if we substitute in for this. So we'd have to be getting rid of Call to Isolation to do that. I think, in this case, we just go with one of the beast ones. Yeah, so... This is a cheaper beast one. The cheaper we go, the more... Thing is, this Blood Draws combos quite nicely with this little thing we've still got here. Because then it's an extra chunk of damage and adding beasts to the board. We like to add beasts to the board. Let's go with Blood Draws Predators and just never use it. Perfect. Okay, so we've got to think about adding a presence. There's going to be a Ravage in here, and I kind of decided to ignore this. Where do we add our presence? Let's make a sacred site somewhere. Especially now we've got rid of sacred sites under threat. Not that I was really worried about that anyway, but let's put presence in here. Okay, and now we've got this Dahan push. So I'm going to push this extra one in here. So we don't have this guy on their own. I wanted to have a presence in with lots of Dahan because you get some pretty great effects from hanging out with the Dahan. Okay, so that was the growth. We're going to be sapping. We're going to be call to isolation. Oh, actually, I don't need to use call to isolation to get an extra Dahan in there. We could get an additional Dahan in there. Oh, blood draws predators a chance to get another beast on the board. We can afford it. Not only that, but it's the third beast element, which means we could use it to kind of gather a beast somewhere. But this is just straight to fear and solving this problem. It really does solve that problem, doesn't it? And we kind of almost got to turn off if we just leave that alone. What's the beast going to actually do for us? Not a lot, really. All the beast is going to do is exist. Because in this counter we will kill. I guess this is insurance, though. It's insurance and adding a beast. Let's do it. Let's do it. We've only got one mountain to worry about next turn. So, yeah, we're fine. Okay, those are my card choices. Oh, we've gone really wonky. I think my camera is slowly veering off to the side. Okay, those are my power choices. Okay, fast phase. So we are going to defend 5 in here with sap. Do we want so an event could kill one of these Dahan. Actually, there are Dahan and invaders in here together, so maybe we don't need to push in there. We're going to blood draws predators in the only land that we know is going to have death in it. And the call to isolation, I don't want to leave isolated Dahan next to cities, but this guy's kind of on their own anyway. Yeah, possibly I could have used this more effectively. I can't see how to do it now. Yeah, let's just... wait a second. We could push a Dahan in here thinking about future call to isolations. We're going to be reclaiming next turn anyway. Yeah, especially if we don't have cultural assimilation to worry about. I'm less worried about leaving Dahan on their own. Okay, that was my fast phase. We don't get to do any of this. Boo. And we don't get to do any of this either. Apart from the beast one. We get to do the beast one, okay. Oh, peasant, what do you like? So we can gather a beast somewhere. Now we do have Here There Be Monsters, so we might want to gather a beast. Oh, this is already in a good place. We might want to gather a beast into... I guess there are... Yeah, let's gather it in here because there are enemies in there. Okay, so that's that one. That's the fast phase. Now, healthy. We still have a healthy island. Let's see what our event is. It's new species spread. New plants and animals brought by the invaders damage the local ecology. So on this one, I almost always want to transmute the worst of the spirits. So aided by moons. How many moons have we got at the moment? Just one. We've actually got an energy. We could discard this from hand for 2 towards this and this energy. Here's the thing, right? We're reclaiming next turn. If we spend this energy now, we actually can't afford to reclaim and place presence, which is really what we want to be doing. So I'm actually going to forget Shadows of the Burning Forest, I think, to pay for this. So we get to add a beast to a land with buildings, and we gain a fear. So let's add a beast into this land. We do have a fear card. We might get some help in here. Okay, that was new species spread. And then we've got new diseases. On half of the boards rounding up, add a disease to a land with both Dahan and invaders. Do 2 damage to Dahan there. So yeah, that was the thing I was worried about. So we could add it in here and prevent this build. Okay, yeah, I think that's worthwhile. It's not ideal to lose Dahan, but it happens. Each spirit at least 2 Dahan among all its lands gains an energy. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, that was our event. Now we have a fear card. What do we got? We've got each player may gather a town into a coastal land. Nah, you're all right, mate. You're all right. If I had a little bit more defending here, then that would be pretty nice, but no. But no, Jim. But no, I'm just double checking my maths, because if we could drag a town in there, that would have been pretty glorious. But alas. Alas and alack, we do not have the maths available. Okay, that was our fear card. Let's do the ravage. This is a blight. It's just a blight. Nothing. No, it was out of my. Nothing I could do about it. It probably was, but I chose not to do anything about it. Here we have a 5 damage, 5 defend. So the defend blocks. There's a counterattack. These get cleared for 3 fear, which is a card and then 2 more fear. A card and then 2 more fear. And our blood draws predators triggers and adds a beast in there, which then doesn't have anyone to attack. But that's okay. So that was the ravage. Now we're into the build. There's no build here because of disease, and there's no build here because it's not coastal. If it was a coastal land and empty, it would still build because of the city being here. Okay, so that's the build, and now the explore. It's okay, so we've got the Scottish escalation effect, and we've got a Scottish coastal explore. So the coast, so we need to choose where to put this town. Oops. And we need to do the exploring as well. So the town goes down first. We've got quite a lot of Dahan moving. We could be. It'd be nice to set up for a big counterattack in here and finally clear that city. But I don't think stacking an extra town that's going to help with that. So let's put this town somewhere that feels irrelevant. Like maybe in here. It's in with a presence. It's kind of out of the way. Okay, and then we have the actual explorer. So coastal gets a town and inland gets an explorer. And then we come to my glorious slow phase where I do nothing except take my mandated break. All right, let's finish cleaning up that turn. So the defend comes off. There's no longer beasts in there. This lot goes into my discard pile. Thanks to that event, or I think it was an event, I've got a bit of energy, which is nice. Okay, so almost certainly reclaiming is the right thing to do here. Well, this thing is worth checking. You know, you got to check. You got to check these things. Yeah, let's have a look at the island though. We've got a low chance. There's a chance this ravage will hurt me, but it's probably okay. We've got build here. Build here. We don't want all these cities. This looks like a good turn for this kind of shenanigans. You know, a classical impersonate incite kind of turn. And if we combo that with our newly found beasts, we can actually do quite a lot of damage. Especially as we're going to have 3 beast elements if we do that. We can actually drag another beast in here. Maybe we can even clear this land this turn. Can we? They're going to build an additional town. If we impersonate, one invader's, it's only going to do 3 damage. But then if there's an additional beast in there, yeah, I like it. I like it. This looks like a turn I can get behind. Incidentally, we'll also get to, let's see what happens. Yeah, okay, so we're definitely reclaiming. Let's just pay our money. I'm going to put it up here just so that I don't think I haven't paid it when I have. But I'm there wondering, how have I got so much energy? How have I got so much? We do have a presence move. We do want a presence in here because that's what we can use to drag another beast in. We could even vacate this land if we're thinking we might not defend in there. We've still got a healthy island. Yeah, I like that. I like this plan. I think, yeah, if we can clear these coasts, then we're in a good spot. It's a good thing to do against Scotland. We've we haven't got to the, so we've got the 3 here, so it's going to be 3 and then coastal lands. Yeah, so we want to get this nailed. If we can clear all these cities ASAP, then that's good. Something to think about though is they are going to build a city here, and that's going to mean that they get the weird England build things in these lands. Where is it? Yeah, so chart the coastline, and coastal lands build cards affect lands without invaders, so long as there is an adjacent city. So we really want to kill this city as well if we can. Or prevent the build. We could, if we had another play, we could just push this town out, couldn't we? And then they're building a town and not a city. But maybe we're going to have time. We'll definitely leave this beast in here. Yeah, let's leave a presence in here as well. Maybe we'll move this presence over. No, we'll move this presence over because this is kind of helping potentially with this blight. I don't know how. It might do. It might somehow help. Oh, but we don't really want to leave this. Oh God, I've now done the old pushing presence everywhere thing. We don't want to leave. I'd rather have a presence in with all these Dahan than abandon a land that has Dahan in. So actually, let's move this one in here. Okay, so we've done this. We've got another option. So almost certainly we're going to want to place presence. How many? We've got 6 cards in hand. We're probably going to keep on trying to gain power cards. We're probably going to want to keep kind of pushing our hand size up and up and up. Because of using let's see what happens, we get to keep going for a little while longer. And what I'm really contemplating is do we go with pushing towards playing 4 cards a turn or not? I think I'm going to go with the energy. It's a bit safer. It's a little bit safer. And this any could come in handy. All right, yeah. So we're going to place a presence somewhere. Let's place, after all that decision making, just put it back in here. Let's place it in here because this might help us. We might be able to use Why Don't You and Then Fight just to take care of the incoming coastal lands card. Yeah, we might need help with that. Okay, so we get our income. Of course, we have spent that. So we're going to get this income this turn. And let's just do a sanity check on my original plan. So this is my original plan, is to go in here, add a strife, drag in a beast. Ah, wait a second. We could just prevent the city build here using this beast. It means we wouldn't get as much blood draw predator action. And what's really happening in here, if we drag a beast in, then we do get, the city will get to destroy a town and explorer, and then if there's already a beast in there, then it will destroy an additional town, the town that gets built this turn. And then this will be, it will just be strifed and won't be doing much. Oh, I've also forgotten to do this push. Silly peasant. Let's push this guy in here. Oh God. Oh God. Let's push this guy in here. I'm deliberately not going to think about that too hard. So, strife and clear. I think preventing the city build is very worthwhile. It's just going to make the next couple of rounds much more palatable. So I think, yeah, we will do this. We'll do this option. But then maybe, do we want to use Blood Draws Predators in this case? All of our cards have Beast on, by the way, which is intriguing. Though, okay, if we do Blood Draws Predators, we'll be adding a Beast in here, which is valuable, right? Yeah, it's valuable just to have the Beast in there. Yeah, and we're not at Terra 2 yet, so I don't like rushing Fear until I get to Terra 2, or if I'm at the cusp of Terra 2. We are 6 Fear away from Terra 2, which we're going to gain some fear with the mob incitement. So maybe we actually sub in here, there'll be monsters. And just, because that would be an extra fear per thing destroyed. So we'd get 3 fear from this, 3 fear from this, which would take us up to Terror 2, which would give us a massive burst of fear cards next round. Also saving energy, but we're not adding a beast into here, but that's fine. We've got other places we might want to use beasts. Not sure. Not actually sure there. Might have argued myself out of a good thing. Yeah, because if we're not dragging a beast in here, this extra beast in here is not doing anything. So, okay, we'll go with this. So, we've placed our cards. We've got a let's see what happens. And we've got a why don't you and then fight. So, let's do the... This looks like a great target for let's see what happens. It's got everything in it. It's got beast, it's got blight. Yeah, let's do a let's see what happens in this land here. So in this inland sands, we'll see what we get. Papow, we get a thriving choke fungus, add a disease, and a bad land. Well, okay then. Thanks. And for the sake of our economy, ooh, okay. Here's the nice thing about having the extra energy, having a cheaper turn. I like all these cards. They're all very good for me. Actually, yeah, I'm not gonna do this bottom bit. And it's a luxury I can afford because I've got a little bit of energy left over. Yeah. Okay, so that was that. And we've done... And then why don't we fight? We'll do that in here to do 2 damage, destroy this town, gaining another fear. Okay, that was the fast phase. So now, island's still healthy. Event card. What do we get? Rising interest in the island. Oh, wow, we've even got enough air that we can just pay. So I think we always want to weave lies, always. That's always weaving lies. We've already got 3 air. We could discard a card to get the air, to save us in energy. Our energy budget is often so tight that I think it's worth thinking about. So we could discard Call to Isolation instead of paying one of our free energy. Do we have a good use for Call to Isolation next turn? As it happens, probably we do. Actually, no, we don't. We've got this extra Dahan push. What I'm thinking about is the Ravage that's going to happen next turn. We just push 1 Dahan in, that's good. Oh, but we've also got... Yeah, we do have good uses for this next turn. Yeah, I'm going to pay. So I'm going to pay the 4th energy. So you return the top fear card to the box. Get in the box. And each building does extra damage in this incoming Ravage. Well, that's fine. We don't have buildings in this incoming Ravage. Okay, on each board, add a beast to a jungle without blight. A fear if invaders are present. A beast to a jungle without blight, you say? Well, some peanut got rid of blood draws predators, didn't they? But we can just add this in here. Yeah, so we'll gain a fear for that. Oh, we've accidentally got to terror level 2. On each board, add a wilds to a land with Dahan. All right, then. All right, then. Yeah, lovely. Lovely stuff. Yeah, we've got we've got the double explore. We know this is coastal lands anyway under here, but we've got a, this is guaranteed to help us very soon. Okay, thanks, Rising Interest in the Island. And now we've got a couple of fear cards to resolve. So the first one, and at Terror 2, oops, should shift this across. Invaders do not build in lands where Dahan outnumber buildings. Well, okay, that's going to affect in there. Crikey. And next up, I'm going to leave it there so I remember it. Each player removes an explorer or a town from an inland land. Okay, then. So they're not building in here anyway. If we remove this explorer, then this is going to ravage with a lone explorer. I think that's the one to do. This, I mean... But the thing is, we've got a nice solution for this. We can just counterattack, and we could even think about pushing more things into there. Yeah, let's remove this then. We don't actually have any damage powers. Well, apart from this. Yeah, let's just remove that town. Okay. So I'm going to leave those there. and probably still forget them. All right, so we have a mountain ravage, which doesn't do anything, and that's not a ravage either. Then we have a build in here, which does build a town. Oops. And a build in here, which doesn't happen because they do not build in lands where Dahan outnumber buildings. And then we have a stage 3 card. This is an early one. It's an early stage 3er. And we know that coastal lands is next, so I'll just flip that over so it's slightly less confusing. We've got mountain and jungle explorers. So it's not got an escalation effect on it, but it's, what was it, mountain and jungle? Oh, we got lucky there because there's no mountain on the coast. So they explore into this jungle with a town, into this jungle with an explorer, and then into those 2 mountains with more explorers. Crank, it does look a little bit hectic in here. Okay, that was the explore, and now into the slow phase. Now let's just see, how does this affect anything? Okay, we've got ravage into build. Crikey. So. We can actually do something about, we could sort this out just by pushing a Dahan in and then using Call to Isolation to empty the land out. And this land, if this is strifed and has destroyed these, it's still a 4 damage ravage. So we could then just use sap in there. And then again, it'd be nice to have more Dahan in there. So I think we go with the current plan. I think the current plan's good. We might not, do we even, we can always also use Impersonate Authority with Real Flair for Discord to just add another strife somewhere. Okay, so we are Impersonating Authority. We're going to do it on this city. Do we want to pay for an extra one? Yeah, I think we do. It might be unnecessary, but it also might just it might just help us a lot. We're not reclaiming next turn. Pretty sure we're not reclaiming next turn. Yeah, so we can spend our last energy. I'm just thinking about this reclaim cost here. So I'm going to pay an extra energy to add a strife onto another town in here. Okay, so that's impersonating done. Incite the mob. So this invader here is going to deal damage to other invaders, and then an extra fear for each thing it destroys. So we're going to destroy these, an explorer and a town, for a total of 3 fear. Okay. And then we've got here, there'd be monsters, which we can't use it here because it needs to be inland. So if we hear there'd be monsters in here, it not only gets us the fear we like, but it also means that we are closer to not having a problem here. So I think I will use it in there. And where do we push the explorer to? I dream of having a nice counterattack in here and just clearing that flipping city. Flipping city. I mean, we've got a beast in here. We've got this in here. Let's push this in here. And maybe we'll aim for a big counterattack in there. We can defend with sap, and we should be good. These are always going to be 0 damage, no matter what boost they get because of the strife. Though there is an event that ignores strife, which would be... let's not worry about that. But yeah, I think we're fine to leave these in here. Okay, and we get the fear from here. There'll be monsters as well. So that's a fear, which is a card, and then 2 more fear. Okay, that was our slow phase. Now we discard all this lot. These are now available again. And we are back to growth. We have no energy, so reclaiming would force us to do that, which we don't really want to do. We don't want to do that. Interestingly, we've got the any as an option now, so we could use that to get just to get whatever element we really want here. So, for example, we've only got 1 air, right? We could get a one-off use of let's see what happens, but I don't really value that much. I think... Okay. So we could look at another power card. We've got this Dahan push as well. Yeah, I favour killing this city. And we could blood draws in there is going to be an additional 2 damage after so kind of in the middle of the ravage. The defend covers it. We've already got presence in there, so we don't care about this yet. So we're going to be using this to push Dahan into here. We're going to be using this to push Dahan into there. Especially as we've got this ravaging to build in the jungles. It's super valuable. Okay, I'm happy with this hand. Do I look at a power card to potentially improve the hand? We're probably going to reclaim next turn anyway. Yeah, let's look at a power card because we're hopefully going to be building to 4 power turns soon. Okay, so yeah, let's gain a power card. What do we got? Quicken the Earth Struggles. Lovely stuff. That's a big defend card, isn't it? Look at it. It's furious. Furiously defending. It's a corker. Okay, so an actual damage card. Intriguing. So what we can do is that we are going to be placing a presence. I'm just going to put that there to remind me. It might not be from this any. But Quicken the Earth Struggles is going to give us a moon. Giving us a moon could mean we could substitute it in for sap. It has the beast on. We still get to clear this land with beasts. And it also has the fire. And it's a great card. What can I say? It's a great card. It's a corker. We've got this mountain build here that Delusions of Danger could help us with. But I don't think preventing that build is as useful as clearing this coastline. Because of the fact that this city existing is going to mean that all of these coasts suddenly think they're England, which we don't want. If we go quicken, we're going to have a slightly more expensive turn. But if we do just substitute that in, we've got the 2 moons. We could have this as an heir, and then we've got this as well. Which I think it can be good, it can be bad. What about the other cards? This is also, it's another, we've got Dahan push. It's good to have another defend card. I think we just take this and stop thinking about it. Yeah, we take this and never think again. No more thinking here. Okay, so we've done that, and we're going to go with that plan as outlined in the document. There's no document, but yeah. So we'll have an any there. It's going to be an heir, okay? But it needs a sacred site, which is convenient because we've got a presence placement and presence everywhere. So this is our turn. It's going to use all of our energy. Oh, except we've got to do this first. We've got to do the Dahan push first. Let's just check I'm doing this right. So yeah, I'm going to push from here into here. So that's that done. And yeah. The nice thing about going with this massive defend as well is that if we do end up with events dragging things into there, we can just go, yeah, great. More the merrier. Okay, so we've got, why don't you and them fight? We'll use that here to prevent this town build. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, done. Probably I should do this first, actually. But I don't want to undo too much, so we'll do this. So, double moon, fire, air, and this is an air. Do I have the token somewhere? Somewhere. Let's just get it out. Just flaunt, you got it, you flaunt it, right? Is that what people say on the internet? I think it is. I think you'll find. There it is. It's an any right now. It's an air. Okay. So, oh yeah, I've not actually done this yet. So let's do this. Where do we type? This is kind of in hand, right? We're going to be dragging in, and we're going to be bringing another defender, and then there's going to be an additional 2 damage after. So it's an 8 damage total. We should clear it. Events, of course, exist. So this is kind of sorted. This is a land that's going to build in with Blight, which I don't like. There's also no presence there. I think this is the one to target. Yeah, we'll target this one with, let's see what happens. So this mountain with the Blight. What do we get? Bam. Gift of Living Edge. So that does not target a land, so we just move swiftly on. Bam, target land. So it does happen to have Blight, but it's We don't need to worry about that restriction when we're using. Let's see what happens. So we've done that. 1 fear per type of invader presence. All right, I'll take it. And then we push and explore all the town per blight. Well. Let's push that in there. I think. Though, wait a second. I did just work this out, didn't I? If we're pushing a Dahan in here, there will be 6 damage, and then the beasts are going to do another 2 damage. And currently we're sitting on 3, 5, 7, 8. So we don't really want to push in there, actually. Let's push into this hilarious land that I'm sure was a great place to live. So that was weep for what is lost. But I'm so happy with my cards at the moment. But we've picked up a few expensive ones. So I think we do need to do the economic option. We've got sap in our hand as well. But I think we want to hang on to sap. We could forget here there'll be monsters. But maybe we don't need these things anymore. Maybe we actually don't need Incite the Mob now. I don't think we need Incite the Mob anymore. Its time has passed. So we'll forget Incite the Mob to gain the extra energy from Let's See What Happens. And that was that. Okay, so we've done these. Now I've got these to do. Let's quicken the Earth Struggles in here with our Sacred Site. So that's a 10 defend. 10. And we're going to Blood Draws Predators in there as well for some more damage. And Call to Isolation for, you guessed it, some more counterattack. Okay, that was our fast phase. Now let's do the rest. So, we've still got Healthy Island. Let's see what our event is. Oh yeah, these fear cards are gone. They're gone, I tell you, gone. What do we get? We got Farmers Seek the Dahan for aid. Oh god, not this one. Okay, we can spurn or we can teach. So on each board, 2 damage to Dahan in a land with buildings. So we could lose a Dahan here. Ooh. But the thing is that all buildings have reduced health, so it still works out for us, but it's just not very nice. Then we've got add a blight to a land with at least 2 buildings. So that would be a blight in here too. We'd lose a presence. But because all buildings would have 1 less health this turn, we'd actually still be okay. Because our counterattack, this would still wipe out all the buildings. But crucially, it wouldn't actually kill this last explorer. Or we can teach them. We add a town to a land with Dahan, and next normal ravage becomes a build. Now, the next normal ravage could become a build, but I'm very keen to get rid of the city. So we're going to go with spurning. We're like, hey, Scots, get spurned. So we are going to... You're going to die. Sorry about that. I'm going to add a blight to this land. We're going to lose a presence. I'm going to leave this destroyed presence here. And then buildings have 1 less health for the rest of the turn. Oh, and I've actually completely forgotten to account for the new diseases. On half of boards rounding up, add a disease to a land with both Dahan, and invaders do 2 damage to Dahan. That. Oh my god, that's absolutely brutal, isn't it? I've just lost all my Dahan. Well. So yeah, maybe I should have gone, but I will still get to kill this city. Horrible. Damn it. This is a bit of a bogeyman card. It's worse against France, of course. Because everything's worse against France. Okay, that was our event. Harrowing. That was a harrower. Let's leave it there because it does reduce the health of invader buildings. Alright, and what's our fear card? Our fear card at Terra 2 is each player chooses a different coastal land. In each, gather up 1 Dahan, 1 damage per Dahan. Well. Okay, that we will get to clear this land now. So 1 damage per Dahan. We could just kill this city now. Let's just get it done. And we will get the beasts will happen now as well. So, but that's okay. Okay, so we gather in a Dahan, 1 damage per Dahan. So we've got 2 Dahan, which is enough to destroy this city because it's reduced health because of Farmers Seek Dahan for aid. Okay, so that is 2 fear for the city, which is another fear card. And then a fear left over. Blood Draws Predators is going to happen now. So we get to add a beast. And then the predators do some damage. So may as well try and cascade these fear cards a little bit. And we'll destroy both of these weakened towns for another 2 fear. It's not quite enough for another fear card, but we're 1 away. Okay, so that's that. Thanks, fear card. And we do have this new fear card to resolve. Oh yeah, and this is, we've done the blood drawing of predators now. You'll notice that there's only 1 building left on the board after all that. Okay, and finally, each player adds a strife in a land with presence. Each spirit gains 1 energy per sacred site they have in lands with invaders. Well, I used to have a sacred site in with invaders, but not anymore. So we could strife this, I suppose. That's probably the right thing to do. Well, okay. It's looking all right. So that was the fear phase. We have a ravage. This guy dies. There's no ravage in here. Mountain and jungle build. So these jungles are clear. This mountain is also clear, but we do get a mountain build in there. This is a coastal lands card. So we get 2 towns and an explorer on the coast. So we've got this one, we don't need this defend anymore. We've got this one land that's pretty good, right? And we've got this other land that's where we could shove the town and actually just ignore it. Oh god, it's a bit of a rules thing. I'm going to fudge it for the sake of speed, but I'm pretty sure that's how it would work. I'm pretty sure. Reasonably sure. 65%. Let's give it a 65%. Oh, I'm not actually sure. Let's play it the hard way. Because I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll leave home. Oh, but the wild's taken is going to get removed anyway. Oh, God. Yeah, we'll play it the way I think. It's 65%. Though, actually, I'll take a short break and check it. All right. Well, it turns out that Eric Royce, the Allfather, has specifically addressed this or mentioned it on a Board Game Geek post. So the wild's token will prevent the build up here, and we'll get a couple of towns in these two. Fine. My 65% was wrong. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. But that's okay. It can be wrong sometimes. Into the slow phase. Not doing a lot in this slow phase. By a lot, I mean not doing anything. We'll discard those. We're into the cleanup. We're cleaning. We've got an energy. This is free to be anything it wants to be now. Okay, let's have a look at a peruse of this situation we have here. We have mountain and jungle ravages. We've got coastal builds, but this is all very preventable here because we've dealt with those cities, which has been basically the main project. We've got sap, the strength of multitudes in here. We can just deal with this. That's not a problem. But other than this particular card in my hand, we're not doing a lot of value this turn. I'm wondering, can I push for the win this turn? How many? Okay, we are 3 fear card. I get a bit Bristolian there. But 3 fear cards away from a Terror 3, which is actually only 9 fear because we're 1 fear short a card. I mean, we could maybe think to try and win next turn as long as we can prevent any city builds, which I think is pretty reasonable. Okay, defend here is good. But yeah, I think we don't want to have a weak turn. We do have the energy. We can keep placing presence and reclaim. So I think that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. So I'm going to pay the energy, my last energy, to get the reclaim. And we get to move a presence as well. Let's move this one into here, I think. And then we also are going to be able to place a presence. So we could... we could make a sacred site somewhere, thinking of a future quicken. For example, in here. For example. We've only got 3 Dahan left. We've been a bit unlucky with our Dahan events. This sacred site feels more important, and so I think I'll make a sacred site in here with my presence placed. Do we go for the fourth action? I think we go for the fourth action because, so as in get this one that doesn't do anything for me. That fire element, I've not so sure I'm going to use it very much. We've got so few Dahan anyway. So I think, yeah, we push towards the fourth action and we're going to make a sacred site here just because if we're going to over-defend either of these, we're going to over-defend this one. Because it's got blight. It's though we don't need to defend in there. You know, actually, we don't need to defend in there. Because we can just clear that this turn. As long as we play 3 beast things, we've got the any element as well. And everything has beasts somehow. Can we prevent this build here? Well, as it happens, Call to Isolation. We could push a Dahan into here and then push the town out. Prevent that city build. Feels pretty useful. Or we could even push this in here, push this town in here, and then just defend with some Blood Draws Predators, and that'll clear everything. That will clear absolutely everything, and then we'll have no coastal builds, which feels pretty good. That feels pretty nice. Though, I mean, yeah, and we can just use our beast element to just clear these, get them out of the picture. Okay, what's the turn looking like after that? Yeah, if we do this, if we sort this out, then we've got enough. We've got another turn where we could just slap the enemies around. Okay, so we have 3 plays. We've made a sacred site in here. We haven't pushed our Dahan around. Yeah, let's make sure there's no cities on the coast. That seems like a good thing to do. So we're going to push a Dahan into here. So that's now done. We can make this decision whenever we like about the any. So we can call to isolation. The thing that's tricky is, if you saw how those event went, I lost so many Dahan in that event that if I do push in here, I mean, I could just get unlucky and have all my Dahan die. But okay, so if we go with these 2, we'll have 2 energy, of course. So we'll have 2 of our tracks, so we've got 1 more energy. And so maybe I want to play an air thing. I mean, we're just ignoring this land, though. That doesn't feel great. We could just get the any. So we... What was that? Yeah, I don't mind this not being destroyed this turn. Preventing the city builds is the ideal. So we could defend like this. Bearing in mind we don't have any Ravagers next turn. If we do this, if this works, if the events don't scupper us, we just don't have any Ravagers next turn. So we don't really care. Oh, the trouble with this is that because there's only 1 Dahan in there now, we don't actually clear on the counterattack. So maybe we are actually letting this go. And I just realised I reclaimed but didn't move my presence, but I'm not undoing that. No way. God, but we don't want a blighted island. We really don't. We really don't. Yeah, we could just destroy this town. Push this in there. Maybe this plan isn't as good as I thought. Yeah, these explorers in here are kind of irrelevant. So we could isolate to push this town in here. We could use this ability to destroy a town in there. And just defend in there, keeping the island healthy outside of unfortunate events. The thing is, we don't actually need to use Quicken the Earth Struggles. We could just use Blood Draws Predators. We could just do that. The trouble with that is we then don't get Let's See What Happens, which is a good source of protein. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with this. But then we don't get to let's see what happens. We don't need to see what happens. I think we're fine doing this. It's a bit of a... It just feels like not the best play. If you see a better play, don't forget. Timestamp it. Okay, so fast phase. We're not seeing what happens. We could choose to see what happens. That is something we could choose to do. We also could choose to have this ability. I don't use this very much. Yeah, we're probably not doing that. We could make this an air and just do a let's see what happens somewhere, like in this land. Let's do that. I mean, there's a chance we'll have a cascade, but that'd be hilarious. So let's do it anyway. Yeah, let's do a let's see what happens in this land, but we don't have the moon. Okay, so in here, what do we get? Pow. Gather or push an explorer. Isolate target land. Well, okay then. Well, that's great. Wonderful. Let's gather one and isolate it, I suppose. Might make all the difference. And then, do we care to forget a card for the... Oh, we can't forget it. Good. Rare for me to be not disappointed by that. Okay, so call to isolation. I'm going to push this town into here. We're going to blood draws predators in here. We're going to sap in here. I don't know why I'm interceding with the sap. I guess all these cards are, saving valuable energy. And then I'm going to use this. Why don't you then fight with the 3 beasts to do 2 damage, destroying a town, gaining me a fear, and consequently a fear card. And blood draws predators is also going to trigger. So I get to add another beast, and then the beasts get involved and destroy this for another fear. Okay, that's pretty nice. So that's done. All of our stuff's done. Let's move on. So, Iron's still healthy. Let's see what our event is. Oh, yeah, farmers are no longer seeking to demand for aid, having been spurned. We have temporary truce, or temporary caution, because we're at Terra 2. During the Ravage step, on each board, skip 1 Ravage action in land where Dahan outnumber buildings. Well, okay then. That's entirely irrelevant. In each land with beasts, 1 damage per beast. Well, this does have a Badlands in, so we'll actually get to kill an extra explorer there. And then for each board, 1 fear if any Dahan are in lands with buildings. Well, unfortunately not. Okay, and we have a Terra level 2 fear card. What is it? It's defend 2 in all lands. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so Mountain and Jungle Ravage. This is defended 5 from Sap. That's the only Ravage. We have Coastal Builds. No, we don't. This is gone as well. So let's see what we get here. So we're going to have Escalation, which is going to be adding a town somewhere with not many towns. We're going to get a Coastal Town Explore, and then this is actually isolated. Well, we don't get this guy. So we've got to place a town somewhere that doesn't have towns. In with a beast seems like a good spot. It's tempting to put it in here, actually, because we can just kill it by having 3 beasts because of the Badlands. So we'll just clear that land. Yeah, let's do that. And so the Coastal Explorer is a town. This Explorer is ignored because it's isolated. And then I've chosen to... Yeah, so it doesn't provide its own explorers. That's something I've only recently learned. Thank you, George, for teaching me that. Okay, that was our Explore. And now we are slow phasing, but we're not doing slow stuff. Slow stuff? No stuff. None of that slow nonsense. Okay, so that lot's discarded, and we're back to the growth phase. We have, it's technically a Ravage. And we are how far from Terra level 3? We are 7 fear away from winning through lack of cities. We've got an incoming build here, so we definitely want to do something about this. It's kind of mildly effortless to do something about it. We could push to the 4th action. Which I think is probably the right thing to do. We will incidentally get let's see what happens. It's a very cheap turn. We can make a sacred site here for quicken to defend. I think that's the straightforwardly good thing to do. Yeah. So we'll place a presence in here. That's that done. And we could gain a boatload of energy. But why? Why would you want a boatload of energy? Maybe I just want a boatload of energy. Have you thought about that? You do have a bit more flexibility with having lots of energy, but I find you don't need a lot of energy with the spirit. Unless you were to go major powers, it wouldn't be wild. It wouldn't be silly to go major powers. But I tend to just play this as a mass of minor powers. So we'll gain a power. Let's see if we get anything relevant. See if we get anything that can get us the win immediately. Well, that's a card I'm glad not to be in the deck. This is one of the few ones that will add a blight from the minor deck. Okay, so pretty much as we've got the 4 plays, we're going to be doing the beast fun stuff anyway. So we don't need. There's nothing here we need to play. Can we finish it? Can we finish it in the fast phase? Nearly. This actually might be a card worth picking up. Let's just get rid of these, because as we all know, clean up messes is a drag. Steam vents, we're not very mountainous. Element-wise, let's just take Scatterland. Because we can actually get the threshold really easily. Can we just win now? Can we? So we can kill this with our beast. Oh yeah, this is no longer isolated. We can kill this with why don't you and them fight. This is going to die in the Ravage, as long as we remember to defend. There's only one Dahan in there, and we do have this Dahan push to do. Let's push it in here. That hopefully should be insurance. So we can kill this with this. You could kill one of these with Scour the Land. It's a very expensive way, and we'll be blighting the island to do that. Let's just hang on to that for now. We're not going to use that this turn, I don't think. If I thought we'd had the win, I don't want to gamble on the fear card. So I think we're just going to play this little collection. Though we do have let's see what happens, but we're going to have had to have chosen what powers we're using before we get to use let's see what happens. And its odds of destroying a town are actually relatively low, or they feel low. So yeah, we're going to go with these 4. Let's do a let's see what happens somewhere. This land is... We've got a really nice solution for that land. This has a strife on it. Let's hit this land with a let's see what happens. So just quickly sanity check. We've got the moons, got the fire, got the air. Yeah, and we're going to target this inland, this mountain up here. What do we get? Okay, that's targeting a spirit. That is gather up to one Dahan. Then, if Dahan are present, either defend after the invaded or invade after invaders are added or moved to target land to damage. Okay, that's horrible for us. Truly horrible. Get out of here. Get out of here. Cool to guard. Cool to waste my time, more like. Time waster. Okay, that was let's see what happens. Let's do this in here. So we've got the beast elements. We could have the air elements as well. There's nothing to strife, so let's not worry about that. So given that there's a Badlands in there, the 2 damage becomes 3. We kill that for a fear. That's this done. We could save this any for the event, actually. Okay, and we're going to quicken the Earth struggles. We're going to be for a wholly unnecessary 10 defend in there. That's the fast phase. Okay, Blighted Island effect event. What do we get? We get, on each board, add a town to a land with explorers or towns. Well, have I got the spot for you? How about you come in here? The nice thing with events that do this is that I know that oh, wait a second. Just checking the disease effect. I know that this is going to get cleared in the Ravage, because this is the surprise of the turn. I suppose the fear card might have been a surprise as well, but okay. Sand Fever Outbreak. On each board, add a disease to sand or mountains with the most buildings. Sand or mountains with most buildings, I guess that's this. Each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among its lands gains an energy. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. Okay, so that event is fine. No fear cards this turn. What's the world coming to? All right, so we have the Coastal Ravage. This is very well defended. The counterattack kills these, and now we do have a fear card. That's the Ravage. So yeah, we don't need this defender anymore. Then we have a sand build, but we don't because there's no one there, and there's no adjacent city for this coastal sand. And now we're into a stage 3-er. It's a sand and mountain special. So the coastal sand gets a town because Scotland. The inland sands don't. I feel like we've been lucky with these stage 3 explorers. Both of our mountains get explorers. Because we've not really been hit with mass coastal invasion at any point. Okay, that was the explore, and now we've got lots of slow things to do. And is this it? Have we got the win? I think we've just about got the win. Crikey. So we've got here, there'd be monsters. We can use that in here to push and gain. Push in with the beast and gain 3 fear. Oh yeah, that should be up there. So that's the 3 fear. And then we've got weep for what is lost. So we can target there and gain a single fear, which takes us to Terror 3 and the win, because there are no cities on the board. Whew. Such a fun spirit. The spirit, I think I'm enjoying the spirit more and more. Hey, if you like the video, like the video. Oh, it's trying to get my thumbs out. Where is it? There's my thumb. And thanks so much for joining me.